regular board meeting of August 13, 2026. Would you call the roll, please? Oh, wait a minute. No, go ahead. I want to do something else, but that's okay.
Dr. Nijad,
Here.
Mr. Chang,
Here.
Ms. Freeze,
Here.
Mr. Shaw, Mr. Adjunku,
Here.
Ms. Johnson,
Here.
Mr. Moreno,
Here.
Mr. Neugebauer,
Here.
Ms. Norwood,
Present.
and Dr. McClinton Stockton.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. And I would like to excuse Mr. Shaw for being absent. He has some medical issues with the family, and he would be reviewing our tape and all the rest of this stuff. So the absent member is excused. Now we're going to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let's welcome the visitors. We're starting from my right.
Lance Kinney, Executive Director for the board. Just tracking along. It's like, who's next? Yeah.
Stephanie Stanford, ESP.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Lucky.
Bhakti Naikani from Corpus Christi, Goins.
Peggy Gonzalez, Brownsville.
Morning.
Jeff Mutcher, CFO for.
Stephen Dakin, newly minted Ellis.
Owen?
Yes.
Govind Attorney Advisory Board Member from Corpus Christi.
Umberto Maggi Advisory, Bernie.
Colby Bracken, RPLS Visitor.
John Hody, Advisory Member.
Woody Trevino, Executive Administrator for the board.
Jeffrey Rodriguez, Operations Staff.
Rick Strong, Director of Licensing and Registration for the board.
Ed Brannon, Technical Review Specialist for the board.
Elizabeth Maza, Staff Attorney for Compliance and Enforcement for the board.
Michael Sims, Director of Compliance and Enforcement for the board.
John Connor, a visitor on the agenda.
Good morning to all of you and welcome. The next item on the agenda is the introduction of Mrs. Peggy Gonzalez, a good friend of ours, and the wife of the late Mr. Gonzalez, that was a longtime board member. And with your permission, I'm going to read a little bit of information for you folks about Mr. Gonzalez. And this is to Mrs. Gonzalez, and welcome and thank you for being here, Mr. Gonzalez. All of us at the Texas Board of Professional Engineers and Land Surveyors were deeply saddened to hear about the passing of our great friend and longtime mentor, Edmundo Gonzalez, PE, RPLS. Edmundo was a dear colleague, a board member, and an emeritus board member on the Texas Board. Please accept our heartfelt condolences. We will miss his smiling face, kind, warm handshake, and amazing stories at our board meetings and board trips, as well as the times he would be accompanied by you with the love of his life and having be present at the board meeting gatherings. Edmundo had the privilege of becoming a professional engineer in 1970 and a registered surveyor in 1980. For 55 years, he served his community as a professional engineer and 45 years as a professional surveyor with the vast knowledge of every inch of his area of service. His technical knowledge of engineering in his field was second to none, and his ethical practice was an example for all of us. He was appointed to the Board of Professional Engineers by Governor of Texas in 1996. He served as one of the 6 engineers appointed to represent the thousands of engineers in our state. He was nominated and approved as an emeritus board member in 2003 and served through 2025. He represented Texas at national meetings and focused on the importance of education and ethics for professionals. He was not only a skilled and dedicated engineer and surveyor, but was also a person of great integrity and generosity. His contribution that they made throughout his career continued to reflect the legacy of excellence and service to others. Many who had privilege of working alongside him were inspired by his passion for solving problems and sharing knowledge. I pray that through the examples Edmundo set, we will continue to have future engineers and surveyors amongst us with the same passion and integrity in engineering and surveyor. We share your sorrow, Mrs. Gonzalez. This is not just a loss of the loss for Gonzalez family and a friend, but the community of engineers and surveyors all across Texas. And I would add, on a personal note, I did get to know Mr. Gonzalez a long time ago, and he was such a warm and great friend. He found out that my daughter was going to school in McAllen. She was going to medical school, and he said, well, we're not far from her. Whatever you need, you let me know, and I'll drive down there and take care of it. And he would also every week send me clipping of news stories of the McAllen paper to just let us know what's going on in McAllen. And every time when he sent me an email, he said, please let me know if there's anything I can do for you and for your daughter. We have lost a very good friend, and I'm so glad that you are here. We have some gifts for you and some letters from your senator and the governor and a flag to present to you. So thank you for being here. We're honored to have you today in our meeting.
Thank you very much. One of the big loves of my husband's life was being an engineer. Thank you very much.
He did a great job. He really did.
Oh, wow. Yes. Hope they don't die on the way.
Since you take the mouse.
Don't hand them to Golan.
No? Kill them for sure.
Maybe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'd
Thank you
love to
so
have you
much.
here. Here's a flag, and this is what he used to wear when he came to these meetings. So we wanted you to have that flag of the state of Texas that was flown over the Capitol. And here is
Resolution from Representative.
the resolution from your representative that you can frame and have it in your study.
These next two are interesting because we had reached out to recognize Edmundo prior to his passing. And so some of these were acknowledging him for his retirement previous to. So these two are from Senator Cornyn, letter from Senator Cornyn, and from Governor Abbott.
Thank you very much. Thank you all
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks. Have a safe drive back home. We always think about Edmundo and you.
Thank you so
Do
much.
you guys want to say anything? Sorry.
I think Rick was gonna take.
I've taken a few, but yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
thank you all.
Any comments from anybody? Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Fantastic. We're going to continue. Number 3 on the agenda is the items that will be acted under consent agenda. If any of these items catch your interest and you want to separate them and deal with them individually, please let us know. First one, A, is May 20th, Licensing and Registration Committee meeting minutes. B, May 21st, Policy Advisory Committee meeting minutes. Item C, May 21st, regular quarterly board meeting minutes. Item D, administrative reports, outstanding administrative penalties, dismissed cases, violation, termination, and voluntary compliance, revocation by operation of law. If you have any comments on these, let us know. And item E is licensing and registration application that will be there. Okay. Then we have the board meeting minutes that are on the consent agenda, and that's about it. We're gonna go.
But we need a motion and a
Yeah.
approval.
I move that we accept all presented minutes.
Second.
Fantastic. We have a motion to accept the consent agenda as they are. We do have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any in opposition? The ayes have it. Thank you.
We had one additional visitor for the record.
Good morning. Would you state your name for us, please?
Kenneth Dio Ankarani.
Good morning to you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
Item 7, board's quarterly activity update, including conferences, meetings, attendance, and presentations given. All of these items are in your board information. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact the board members. Now we're going to go to advisory members' quarterly activity update. Mr. Bai?
Real quick, one thing, we skipped over public comment period.
Oh, we did?
I believe so. Is that correct? Yeah.
Well,
But I don't know if anybody has it. I just wanted to mention there was an item in case. there was-
let's do that. Does anybody have any public comment? You look pretty chipper. You might want to say something. Not today. He did bring a box of donuts, so we need to thank him for that. Thank you.
I just want to make sure we had that opportunity because we had some guests, that's all.
I did thank him for the donuts too.
Noted.
I got so excited with Mrs. Gonzalez being here. I got all the stuff mixed up.
I apologize for jumping in. I think your next thing was
No, you've been
activity
good.
reports.
Yes, Mr. Bai, anything you'd like to add? All right, and let's see, who else? Mr. Edwards not here. Mr. Hody,
Yes, sir.
everything going okay? Anything in your activities?
Yes, it's a report in the packet, nothing to add, and looking forward to see everybody in Henderson.
Fantastic. And Govan,
Not much. Everything's going good.
well, thank you for bringing Mrs. Gonzalez with you guys. Thank you.
I would.
Now we're gonna go to the finance and budget. And the smiling face of Mr. Jeff. It's always good to see you, Jeff.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad to see everyone here as well. All right. So my first item here is our third quarter budget report for the current fiscal year. And that ended May 31st, end of the third quarter, and it'll reflect a positive variance in both revenue and expenditures as we expect it to. And just reflects a healthy financial position for us through the end of May. So I would like to move on to item B there, which is our next fiscal year budget report and adoption with forecasts. So the first page of that will reflect activity through the end of July. And revenue is, our actual revenue is greater than our budget. And this happened because when we were at this point last August, there was an impending legislation just waiting to be signed that would change over to a 2-year renewal period for our PLS, for PE, and for firms. And so at that time, it was still fairly new, although we had a work group here in the office looking at how we would implement that. There were still some questions about the timing of it and whatnot, and how soon we could actually make that work. So we were able to start that in the current fiscal year, and that caused our revenue to go higher than we had budgeted last year, which is expected. But we've taken that into account, and I can show you a transition plan for going forward as well. So that being said, through the end of July, our annual revenue, actual revenue had already exceeded our annual budget for revenue. Expenses, however, were lower than budgeted, which we expect. And you will see at the bottom of page 1 there that our fund balance, given all that, will be higher than we had budgeted for the current fiscal year. The next two pages represent detailed items for both revenue and expenses, where you can see where the variances there are through the end of July. Positive in both aspects of revenue and expenses. So page 4 of the FY 2027 budget will show the budget that I've prepared for FY 27 versus the current year's budget. You can see the increase in revenue there, which is because of the 2-year transition process. See expenses there. There's a slight increase in expenses. We're still trying to fill some positions, and that represents the majority of the increase there of the entire budget. Also, a small increase in the materials and supplies line item. And other than that, we kind of keep it flat on the expense side. So given what I estimate our ending fund balance to be this August 31st, plus adding in the net change in the FY 2027 budget, you'd see a budgeted ending fund balance there for next August at 7.4 million. The pages after that will show detailed line items for each revenue stream, the number of transactions that we expect, the cost of those, and how that adds up to an $8 million revenue stream for next fiscal year. And then after that is the line item expenses, and you can see the differences between FY 27 and our current budget for each line item if you'd like to look at those. The next exhibit item then is just a forecast there that will show where we had budgeted for the current fiscal year, where I estimate we'll end up, and then the budget going forward for the next 6 years, which will show that we will be in the $8 million fund balance range going forward for the next 5 or 6 years with no fee changes as is. Last thing I have there is a tool that I've been using this year and will continue to go forward. It shows how we transitioned from each of the quarterly renewal periods over to a January and a July renewal period for land surveyors, for PEs, and for firms. So going forward, there will be a renewal bucket in July and January of each year going forward, so that we have a continuous revenue stream. And it shows the transition of how many months it took to get over to that, to a 2-year renewal period for each of those groups. And then it also shows additional revenue from applications and interest that we earn on our savings account, things like that, as well as the estimated expense for each year. And this will tie back to the previous exhibit item I showed you with the projected ending fund balance, where we will be in the $8 million range out through 2032. And so if there are any questions about that, what we're seeking today is to approve the FY 2027 budget for this next fiscal year, which starts September. As a procedural matter, also, I need to mention that chairman of the board did the annual performance review for the executive director, and this budget does include a small salary increase for the executive director, something that I have to get on record. So any questions, I'm here to answer.
Any questions for Jeff?
Was gonna say too, Lance and I did review this with Mr. Shaw last week in a Teams meeting, and he liked the approach that we've taken to it and the detail, and how soon we were able to start implementing the 2-year renewal process and how we're tracking that. And his opinion was that the forecast looks good going forward, and he recommended no fee changes at this time as well.
Fantastic, thank you. I think having a board member to review these, like Mr. Shaw, that has a lot of value to it. I appreciate you consulting with him.
Yes, sir.
No questions for?
Can I just a brief comment? I want to thank Jeff for all his hard work on it. And like I said, we talked with Mr. Shaw at length about this. One of the things I do want to highlight that's a big thing for me to watch is what's on page 7, the modeling of this. The 2-year transition is a big deal, and it's going to cause a bit of a change in how we have our balance as well as how things work out. We've discussed that as far as what the final balance will be. Given legislative things and other stuff, it's very a strong signal that we're able to not make fee changes. Right now, it's proposed all the way out to 2033, sunsets in 2033. And so we should be in a good position there. No fees changes for quite a number of years. That'll be a strong thing. And of course, once we stabilize, maybe end of next year or the following year, we'll have a better grasp on where we're going to be balanced. And then we can see if there's changes that need to be made or other sort of capital expenditures and things like that. So the transition right now is going to be a find out exactly where it lands and how it's stabilized. But that one to me is a very big thing on where the agency is going to be able to handle. It's never been in our policy to change fees constantly, and I don't think that's a good way to run things like this. So I just want to kind of emphasize this is one of our big targets. As SDSI, we are in control of our monetary future, fiscal future, and I think this is a solid way to go about it.
For what our members do, we have one of the lowest fees. Fantastic. Jeff, you do have a motion, right?
Well, I can't make one, but I would like for y'all to.
All right, well, I would entertain a motion to accept the budget forecast as he has presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion in the matter? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? The ayes have it. Jeff, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Board members, thank you for your consideration and appreciate y'all's support for our agency and we can run our business here. Thank you.
Well, it's only because you bring good news. The moment it changes. Have a great day. Thank you for coming.
Same trip home.
We're going to continue on the committee matters. Number 10 on the agenda is the Licensing and Registration Committee meeting. Madam Chair.
The Licensing and Registration Committee met yesterday, and we had several personal appearances. The first, which was Mr. Zachary Ryan Essig. The reason for his appearance was multiple arrests and judgments in 2011 and 2021. His appearance was based on the 2021 incident, and we would like to move to table this appearance until our October or February licensing committee meeting for Mr. Essig to prepare a statement on why he wants to be a Texas P license.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was present at the meeting, and based on the information that you had, I do appreciate your recommendation. However, after I saw the meeting and I was present in the questioning, I really have great concerns that Mr. Essig does not care to be a license in the state of Texas. His appearance and his comments that he made were equal to, I really don't need to be licensed, but apparently the certificate looks good on his wall. Our staff goes through 4,000 applications in a year. It's not fair for people like that to take up our staff's time just because they like to have a license and it doesn't make a difference in their life. Therefore, I make a motion to put this on hold for 2 years and ask him to appear in person for a second reevaluation. That is my motion. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there a discussion?
Can I ask why the 2 years?
Just because he doesn't want to be licensed, he said he doesn't need it.
Why not 5 years? Why not 1 year? I'm just curious if you had a.
You can amend my motion, please, if you feel like it, do it. Seriously.
I think my amendment might be as vague as so I'm curious if the 2 years had a meaning.
It's just random.
We just felt like that maybe in 2 years his business environment changes, or he might mature up to say that I do value being licensed in Texas.
How old is he now?
I don't have his age
How much experience does he have?
He had licensed in a bunch of other states.
Mr. Strong, do you have
Let's
an
say
idea?
20 years, 20 years of experience.
So it had 20 years, that's a lot of experience that hasn't affected him. Yeah. Please amend the motion if you wish. And I would second that.
Okay, I amended to 5.
So the motion is to hold his application for 5 years and then ask him to appear in front of the license committee. That is the motion. Any second?
Second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor say, any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? The ayes have it. Please make a note that this was unanimous voting by the committee, by the board. Madam Chair, please continue with number 2.
Okay, we next had a Mr. Evan Robert Weiser. He appeared because of arrest and judgment back in 2002. He has a felony arrest and conviction during his professional career. He did declare the incident. It was a pretty serious incident. Court documents were provided upon request. We would move to the board that Mr. Weiser be approved for Texas PE licensure after successful completion of the 30-hour basic level ethics course from the Texas Tech Murdoch Center for Engineering.
We have a motion from the committee. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion in the matter? All in favor say aye. Any in opposition? The ayes have it. Number 3, Mr. Needham.
Mr. Needham appeared before us. He had a 2017 federal arrest and conviction. The personal appearance was based on the conviction, and he is a former Texas license holder. It is removed to the regular board for Mr. Needham to return to the licensing committee after submitting and successfully completing the 60-hour intermediate level ethics course from the Texas Tech Murdoch Center for Engineering.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, I was present at the meeting yesterday. I did review his case fairly in depth. In light of some additional information that I received yesterday, I propose that we would let Mr. Needham know not to take the Murdoch course and reappear at the licensing committee in May, I believe, or when?
Well, November or
November.
whenever, I mean.
We have found some additional information that was not agreeable with the statement that the gentleman made. And I believe that I'll commend you, Madam Chair. You guys made a good decision based on the information you had, but after reviewing this further last night and the information that the staff sent me, I think the motion would be for him not to take the course and come back for a second visit with in person with the licensing committee. That is my motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Again, Madam Chair, this is not to go against
No, it's not.
your finding, is based on the information we received later
Yes.
after your meeting. Number 4.
Next, we had a Mr. Jose Cecilio Pinata. His reason for appearance was multiple arrest and judgments from 2016 to 2021. We would like to move to the board for Mr. Pinata to be approved for a 1-year provisional license, Texas PE license. During the 1-year period, if he has any criminal arrest or violates court requirements, has any complaints, the license will be revised and possibly terminated.
Great. I have a motion from the committee. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? The ayes have it. Thanks. Number 5.
And lastly, we had a really remarkable man. He I don't know how much I can say. He appeared before us. He had multiple arrests and prison time. He came from a very rough upbringing and pulled himself up by the bootstraps. Is a responsible, proved himself to be a responsible electrical engineer and has maintained his sobriety for 14 and a half years, I believe he said. And if anybody'd like to read his case or discuss it, I'd be happy to, because I've encouraged him to go out and share his story with the community. He was truly a pleasure to talk to and to deal with. So we'd like to move to the regular board for Mr. Tupper to be approved for Texas PE licensure.
We have a motion from the committee
Second.
and a second discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? The ayes have it. I did enjoy listening to Mr. Tupper. He had a really inspiring story. I wish that he would use that in going to schools and talk to young engineers. Item number 6, we have Mr. Sean David Connor.
Mr. Stubing, please. Can we do
Oh.
Mr. Stubing?
Yeah.
Number 7.
The agenda
Mr.
side.
8, excuse me.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, sorry, mine's different.
all right, so let's go to number 7,
Yeah. Well, 8, actually.
8.
8. It was a different order on ours. So Mr. Stubing, the staff appeared on his behalf and Rick, would you? They're asking us to accept a ethics class that he took at University of North Dakota, and I'll let Rick explain this a little bit.
Oh, it's not.
Yes.
These are the that the
We
community-
were, because of some of the delays with the Murdoch Center, we started researching additional ethics courses that were equivalent. We saw the University of North Dakota ethics course very equivalent to the Murdoch Center. And then we had Mr. Stubing that came before y'all and was approved to set for the TSSE and the ethics course. And we're asking staff is asking if y'all would accept the North Dakota college course in lieu of the ethics for Mr. Stubing. He's on that course, an engineer also, and he's taken that course and passed it. He also recently passed the TSSE exam. Just want to substitute in the motion the North Dakota ethics for the Murdoch ethics.
This is after you have studied and make sure that they're all the same
Yes.
or better. Fantastic. And from what I understand, you are going to research some additional resources. So when people can't get to Murdoch, they can go somewhere else. That would be approved by you guys.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay.
So the committee was, thanks to the work of the staff, the committee was satisfied that it was equivalent to the Murdoch Center 30-hour basic level ethics class. So we would like to move to the board that Mr. Stubing's University of North Dakota ethics course be accepted for or in lieu of the 30-hour basic level ethics course from the Texas Tech Murdoch Center for Engineering.
I'll second that.
Fantastic. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any in opposition? The ayes have it. I'm not sure what order your papers are. Now we go to Mr. Connor. We have Mr. Sean David Connor. He is here for reconsideration. Mr. Connor, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good.
All right, please. Come and have a seat.
Do you have to say anything first?
No.
This is an agenda size thing, so just however long you want to give.
Mr. Connor, you have all the time that you need.
Okay.
And I have studied your case. I have letters from your friend, the Honorable Cody Harris. 2 letters from him on December 4th of 2004 and August 4th of 2006. I have the rest of the files, including your letter of May 18, and a bunch of other documents that I have reviewed. So we'd love to hear from you, sir. You
Awesome.
have the table.
Thank you, sir. I have a statement I'd like to read.
Please do.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Thank you all for the opportunity to appear today. I want to begin by saying that I very much do value the professional engineering license and responsibility that comes with it. I asked Mr. Strong to place this matter on the agenda only if the full board had time to review my complete application, including the SERs, references, project experience, written explanations, waiver request, and all supplemental documentation. As someone who serves on the city council, I understand the challenge of reviewing every item thoroughly. Hope the time since the last meeting has allowed that. I genuinely appreciate your time in doing so. I respectfully ask each of you to apply common sense and draw from your own professional experience. Reflect for a moment on the real world knowledge and progressive competence you have gained over many years in your field, engineering or otherwise. Ask yourselves whether that hard-earned experience is somehow less valuable or if it could be replaced by a single fundamentals exam designed for students and recent graduates. Fundamentals that my accredited college degree should already demonstrate. At the May meeting before the licensing committee, I was told by a member that they were against waiver because by not having passed the FE, even if I do pass the PE, I would pose a danger because a PE could stamp work outside of their area of expertise. That risk exists for every licensed professional engineer. The FE exam does not eliminate that. Same ethical obligations, practice restrictions, and professional responsibility that apply to every PE would also equally apply to me. I was also criticized by a member for not having taken the FE exam seriously during my college years as a recent graduate, and that it was absurd that I did not know my career path at the time or anticipate that I would stay in the same field as my degree for my entire professional career. In reality, few people at that stage of life have perfect foresight about their long-term path. What matters is that I have remained in the same field and that progressive real-world experience I have gained over more than 20 years builds directly on the fundamentals my accredited degree already established. I appreciate your time and consideration, and I'm available to answer questions.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Connor. Mr. Connor, tell me, what is it that you exactly do? You are at JF Fountain.
Okay.
You're the owner?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me what you do. You get up in the morning, you go to the office, what do you do?
Yes, sir. I get up in the morning, go to the office, and I have a staff that works with me and a partner who I'm currently buying out the rest of his ownership as a professional engineer. I work with him directly, but I give staff direction, review markups that have been done, make sure everything's good. And then I spend a lot of time on the road at clients, on our projects that we have designed and have done bids for, and construction's ongoing, report to boards, let them know what's going on, go to meetings, discuss engineering aspects of what we do. And 90% of what we do is water systems, distribution, wells, surface water treatment, elevated towers, distribution just from start to finish water. When you turn on your faucet at your house, we had something to do with it, that type of engineering. Yeah.
Okay. You guys, it says consultant engineers, but you sound like you're doing a lot of construction.
Oh, we don't do any construction. We're like a full service engineering company that will design it, bid it, and then we'll see the project through, oversee the pay estimates, things like that,
Do the
and then do the
construction
closeout.
activities.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What type of designs do you do, Mr. Connor?
All kinds of designs,
Tell me, give me one.
transmission.
Like, let's talk about the elevated towers.
Yes, sir. So on the elevated towers, we strictly come up with a site plan and do all the site drainage and the things that are required by permit, whether it's in the county or a city. And then the actual structure of the
elevated tower is done by a licensed professional in that field, like Phoenix Tank. They have their own engineers, or Caldwell Tank, or Landmark. So they actually do the engineering of that. We just set it all up, package it up, and include their stuff in our bids on the elevated tower specifically. And we do all the tie-ins and tied to
You
the
do
system.
the civil part
Yes,
of the tank.
Yes,
And
sir.
how much of that design do you do?
Well, I mean, from start to finish, 100%,
From start to
obviously under supervision.
On the typical design, how many hours do you spend on one?
On a typical, probably, I mean, anywhere, the preliminary stage is a big part of it, just picking location, all that. So that, I mean, that could take 40 hours of meetings back and forth. And then the design part of it is usually a little bit faster, 20 to 30 hours.
Okay. And how many hours the person that signs those drawings spends on it?
I mean, pretty much, I'm not sure, 8 to 12 hours reviewing and marking up, and then I'll review, give it to the draftsman, and they'll get it back to me. And he goes back and he does the final. So he gets, depending on the size of the project, could spend as much time or less than myself.
All right. And he is your partner, but you're buying him out.
Yes, sir.
And do you plan on having some other PE employed in?
Yes, sir. We have another PE on the firm as well.
We'll have another PE in the firm.
Either, I don't like to rely on that, but yes, sir.
Is he on our website as
She is.
as a
She is.
she?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, sir.
great. Okay. I have your letter from 2018. And I also have some other, you've taken the FE on 2006, and you did not pass. You had it on 2010, you had your degree. On 2008, you failed the exam. On 2009, you did not show up for the exam. 2009 again, you took and failed it. 2010, you did not show up for the exam. 2011, you failed the exam. 2012, you failed the exam. And on 2012, your application was denied. 2013, you had a failed exam. And 2013, you did not show up. And in 2018, your application was denied. All of these were because different requirements that you did not meet. 2012, April 25, a gentleman with our office, Mr. George Hartman,
Yes.
wrote to you. You last failed your FE exam in 2011. This is 2012, of course. Additionally, the board is, I'm reading from the letter. Additionally, the board is unlikely to approve an application for a waiver of the FE exam for the one that has failed the exam 4 times. It has been demonstrated that you do not possess the fundamental of engineering to justify a waiver of the exam. Then I'll go back in one of your early letters that you have sent us, and I hate to rehash this stuff, but this is the first time that I'll review these. I've reviewed all the file, it was 190 pages that you sent me. It appeared that you said back in your letter that I was not adequately informed of the exam's long-term importance to my professional career. The exam's scheduling conflicted with my priorities, including Aggie football games, leading to skipping exams altogether and unprepared attempts and fail. Then you said, again, when I first applied for a waiver years ago, my application was denied because I had attempted the exam within the previous 2 years, despite the fact that failing the exam was not a barrier to waiver eligibility. Then further, you say, as dedicated family man and a professional with demanding responsibilities, including my city council service and leadership in my firm, finding time to study for such a board exam is extraordinarily difficult. I urge the board to encourage Educational Institute to better emphasize the FE exam's importance to the students, as this was not adequately conveyed during my time as a student. You went to Texas A&M, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that Texas A&M has the largest number of FE exam takers in the nation?
Sir, they have a lot of students.
Do you understand that they do emphasize that all the time?
I did take it as well in 2000 as a student, so I knew about the exam, but I didn't understand the importance of the long-term effects. Like, and I was just stating there that I wish I would have known more, like that, hey, you have to do this in order for you to be licensed. And here's what a license does for you. At 22 years old, I just was trying to get out and go to work. And then, like, a buddy of mine who also graduated around the same time went to UT Tyler, and later, the FE exam was required as part of his diploma. He had to pass that to get his
Yes.
diploma. So obviously he knew the importance of it because he couldn't get his degree without it. But I wasn't aware.
I understand.
Yes, sir.
Look, we're not here to rehash all of this stuff, but as somebody who reviews this, and I'm trying to make the proper decision, I had to bring these up because these are the only information that I have from you.
Right.
And it appears to me that on item number 1, you had a terrible lack of preparation. You also demonstrated lack of care. Becoming a licensed engineer in the state of Texas is an honor to me and to everybody else that has that license. We work hard to get it. We put a lot of stuff on the side. I personally, at one time, was on 8 different boards, plus this. And I had a wife, kids, and a company to run. So it happens. I have a 21-year-old that just got his PE passed after he passed his FE. So please forgive me. I'm not trying to pile this on you, but it appears that there was a terrible lack of interest. And your priorities weren't there. And you do have a company, you're operating, and in 2012, we told you that there's no way you're gonna get a waiver. From 2012 to 2026, you have not made any serious attempt to pass the test. For that reason, I don't have much else to go by.
Well, I have made several attempts since then too, and part of the reason that I haven't retaken the exam was because of the rule change that happened, where if you fail it within 2 years, then the waiver wouldn't even be looked at. So,
Okay.
and that wasn't applied to me at the time. And then obviously with busy, things have gone in, but my partner, as I spoke about, is.
Don't talk about busy because it offends these people.
No, I'm not
They're all-
trying to be offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, and congratulations to your son as well, and that's awesome, and I wish I would have done that at that age too, but I didn't have direction above me, telling me.
That's okay.
important. So
Look,
I acknowledge my failure at that time.
I really appreciate that. That makes me feel a lot better about you. Here's what I would do. I'm gonna make a compromise with you. We would allow you to take the test as many times as you like. Don't worry about your failure in the past. You take it 20 more times. I don't care. Go ahead and take the test, pass it, and come back, and I'll personally give you your FE.
That's the.
Is there anything else that you want to comment on?
I mean, if that's your decision, I appreciate that, and obviously I will attempt it as many times as I have to pass, if
I
that's
want to
required.
hear you if you have other comments, please.
Yes, sir.
This is your time.
I'm disappointed in that decision. if that's your decision. If the board's purpose is to truly protect the health and safety of the people of Texas, then I believe it should give greater weight, more than 20 years of documented progressive engineering experience that have already contributed to that goal. That's what I've been doing. I also note the apparent inconsistency in how waivers have been handled. A waiver was previously granted to an applicant who had never taken the FE exam, had only 8 years of experience, and had careered multiple criminal charges on rationale that returning to take an exam, being out of school for 8 years, would be very difficult to do for someone out of school that long. So yet a waiver is denied to myself if it stands. And I've been out of school for almost 20 years. And just because I attempted the exam, I don't fall into this category. And yes, I attempted it more than one time. I heard the record and everybody knows. The concern, so, I respectfully request that the board reconsider that decision in light of full record and the principles it's charged with upholding.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's discuss this because, like I said, we want to help you. What anybody else's case is absolutely, totally irrelevant to your case.
I understand.
Everybody is decided by professional engineers with years of experience. They listen to their story, they listen to their accomplishment, then listen to the path they've taken, and they make that decision. If you were here yesterday, you would have heard about this gentleman that was a drug addict. He had been in jail numerous times.
Homeless.
His whole family was drug addict. Some of them died. His sister was homeless. They made a decision based on his accomplishment and what he has done and his dedication to the engineering.
And that's all I'm asking you guys.
And the person that you are referring to, I was here when she was here. It was a lady, wasn't it?
No, sir. No.
It was a gentleman? Yeah. They had a different case and a different story. So again, I want to emphasize that what other people do, we have 4,000 people
Yes, sir.
that we look at every year. And there's one or two that we make waivers based on what the committee feels like. You had good stuff that you brought us. You have brought us recommendation from a state senator or a representative. I mean, it can't get any better than that. The problem is we have some rules that we cannot bend, and you don't follow as a person that could have a waiver of the test. You've taken the test. All you have to do is you study, you take it serious this time, you take a couple of weeks, take the test again. Hopefully you pass it. If you don't, you can take it again, and we'll see you when you come back.
Man, I'll do that. I'll take it as many times as it takes, but the reason I haven't taken it in the last 13 years is because of those rules. I want you to understand that.
Look, I just told you, we made a decision. You can take that thing as many times as you want.
So I could ask a question.
Ma'am.
Yes.
I'm just curious because you have taken it so many times. And then there are also the 3 no-shows, which bother me a little bit that you signed up and then didn't. So do you have any context that taking the test?
Yes.
You're not a test taker. I mean, what's your
Right.
perspective on
So that's a lot of exam testing in general, like statistics, anxiety. It's hard to take an exam. Doesn't mean I don't know the material when it's in front of me. It's just, and then back then the exam was in a huge room that had over 200, maybe 400 students in it. Spread out. Yes, ma'am. And anyway, it was an 8-hour day thing. And so for the missed shows, things came up, whether it was funerals, whether it was things, because you have to plan. You can only do it twice a year on a Saturday.
I know.
Yes, ma'am. So the missing, and then the studying stuff, I would go back and look at it. And I was like, okay, I made 68 3 different times. And I was like, okay, I got this. I know these things. Well, then when you get in there, like I guarantee if you come behind them all and switch, I would have passed. But I don't know specifically what was missed, not. And my study was based on, they send you something in the mail that kind of tells you this is where you were good. And so it was studying more on that stuff. Well, then you go back in there.
Do you know you then need to take another test?
I
Get
did,
your-
there were a couple that were back to back. And again,
It'll be a PE.
The PE,
Right.
yeah.
oh,
There's
no, I
seven
understand that,
exams.
but it's more specific to the. I
But I'm
can,
saying
it's
there'd
more
still be
specific to what
one.
I do.
Kind of you'd face the same test taking.
Oh, yes, ma'am, I understand, but I feel like with my experience over the last years concentrated in a certain area, going back to that fundamentals exam, you know, you got thermodynamics, you got things, and that's just not what I've done. And it was fresh out of school, like I said, that's why it's designed to take early. So that's where I made the mistake, and that's why I'm not asking for you to give me a license. I understand I still have to take an exam and I still have to show that I can pass, but I feel going back and studying for something I haven't done in 20 years versus specifically study on something I do every day, you know, is different. That's all.
I understand,
Yes, ma'am.
and I guess what I was trying to understand is if it is test anxiety, which I understand, I actually didn't take my FE for a couple of years out of school either, and that was a bad decision.
Yes, ma'am.
But you're gonna have to face that again in a
Right.
different scenario, and I'm gonna tell you now that the second test isn't any easier than.
Right.
Um,
I mean, I don't know, never taken it, so, but I understand.
to keep it, they're meant to be challenging for a reason, right?
And you get, and I think you get some sources and stuff with that one.
There's all kinds of study materials for both of them.
You have resources on both of them.
Yeah, the FE.
Yeah.
Did you have a
Embedded
question?
information.
Have you explored, needing extra time talking to students about getting tested for dyslexia or anything, just exploring?
I haven't, good, maybe I should, but I have not. Okay.
It might be worth exploring.
You have the question?
No.
Okay, Mr. Adamola.
I just have comment slash advice. If you plan to take the WS, in practice, they say that the percentage of the people that use the practices so something that you can look into.
Okay, I definitely will, and I think at the last committee meeting, I did look into some of those resources, the something PE of Texas or something, yeah. Anyway, and that was like $2,500, and it was time limit too, like 4 months, so. Anyway, I haven't committed to anything like that, but I understand there are resources out there, but I just wanted y'all to all understand where I'm at. Review my files seriously with the experience only. I understand the exam, I accept that. But there is a waiver there, and I'm not asking you, it's, when the rule was established, when I was in that period, was totally different. So I'm not asking you to break any rules or anything like that. I'm asking you just to look at it as like you said, you look at everybody case by case differently. But waivers have been given, and maybe they should have been, maybe they shouldn't have been. It's not for me to decide, and I appreciate y'all doing what you do. I really would like you to consider where I am today versus where I was in 2012. That's all, and what I've done and accomplished as an engineer.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments that you have?
I just had a couple of comments. In 20 years, the information age is upon us. I mean, you can find out anything on the internet. Mr. Adjokun mentioned about taking courses, prep courses. I had to do the same thing when I got my surveying license. So I studied, I failed. I went back and I took my, when I stand at the plate and I took my cuts at the plate. No matter how many times it's going to take you, it's just imperative. I think the fundamentals, you catch a ball, you throw a ball, you hit a ball. If you can't do one of those three things, then you got to go back to the fundamentals. And I think most of these folks on this committee are engineers, or this board are engineers, and they understand they've walked in your shoes before. So the resources that are out there are available. It's just, you got to go out there and find them. If you've got a network with some of your friends or your peers, do whatever you can to hit that ball out of the park. You're there. You just need to step up to the plate and make contact with the ball.
I understand, and again, I'm not saying everybody's busier than me, but as the owner of the company, like, I mean, it will really take me 6 months to go back and learn that stuff. I'd have basically go back to college. And that's just something I'm asking you guys to understand. And I don't know why a waiver can be allowed, but you're holding this over me because I attempted it. Had I never taken an attempt at it at all, then likely I would have been given the waiver. So that's where I'm stuck. That's why I don't understand.
Well, fortunately, you have a partner that's a PE, you have another PE.
Yeah, he's 93 years old.
Look, buddy, I'm 70 years old and I'm just about 2 steps from death, so man, you never know. And you also have another PE on the staff, so
I
it's
do.
not that you're shutting down your company, but anyway, is there any other comment from anybody? I would entertain a motion. Nobody's making a motion? I'll make a motion that we deny the waiver of the FE test, and I would ask Mr. Strong to communicate with the applicant and help him as much as he can in every resources that's available, so we can make him successful and see him back passing the FE exam. Thank you very much for being here.
Second.
Oh,
Second.
is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any in opposition? Please reflect the record that the vote was unanimous. Thank you very much for being here, sir.
Thank y'all for your time.
We want you to be successful.
I appreciate that.
All right, let's go to, there's one person missing in here. Did we talk about number 7 in here?
He is a no-show, no response
Okay,
to the invitation.
okay. Who gets his donut?
You.
Rulemaking, licensing cleanup.
Speak to that.
Yeah, I'll try and do this quickly as normal. These are rules that have been proposed in the Texas Register and on the website. Public comment, we received no comment. These are licensing cleanup rules, including things like removing the
going anywhere.
TOEFL. Talk fast. Including the TOEFL exam and some other things. So no comments received. They're now up for adoption. The licensing committee did recommend to the full board for adoption of these rules, so that would be the request for a motion. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you need.
Question, is this regarding item number B2, which is adoption, or B1?
B1 through B8,
Yeah.
all of them.
We want to.
It's all of the rules together.
I noticed some of them make reference to proposal, recommendation on proposal versus recommendation on adoption. So are some for proposal today?
They should actually be all
I
adopted.
think it's just a typo. They're all adoptions.
Okay, okay.
Yes, I apologize. They are all adoptions. They were proposed, and I think that was just a typo in transmission.
You ready for the motion?
Yes.
You ready? Go ahead and make the motion. The licensing committee would like to move to the regular board for agenda items items 1 through 8 of the regular board agenda be adopted.
Can we call
We're
for a
ready
vote?
for the vote. All those in favor?
Is there a motion?
Yeah. the
Yes, it is.
motion has
And
been
second? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition?
And so,
Coffee machine slow.
but you're fine. I think this is a good time.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'll let you. Foresee.
We're gonna go do the LSLS, usually Mark, Nugebauer does a presentation and, We'll turn it over to Mark.
Good morning. Morning, everybody. Yes, just wanted to recognize somebody I've known pretty well for the last couple of years. Stephen Gakin, he passed his LSLS this past April. Really is a testament to Stephen's dedication. It takes a lot of self-sacrifice and effort to pass this exam and the drive to succeed and pass that. Stephen has really gone above and beyond the effort to get that done. And it's my understanding that over the many years ago, the previous board of surveying, that there was a requirement that you had to be registered as a practicing surveyor for 5 years before you could even sit for your LSLS exam. Now you can take the exam immediately after you've passed your RPLS exam. Stephen passed his RPLS in 2024 in the summer 24. And it took him 2 tries to pass his LSLS exam. It's a very difficult exam, as we all know, but he has done it quicker than anybody else. Not the youngest, I don't think, but he has done it the quickest. Now, there may have been some surveyors that had to go through the 5 years time lag many years ago, but I don't think they took it as quickly as he did, as Stephen did. So congratulations on your accomplishment. It really is an accomplishment because we locked him in his cubicle in the evenings and fed him bread and water and forced him to study. So Colby, that's a cue for you. When you start studying, we're going to lock you in your office and let you study. But I have Stephen's certificate for his LSLS.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate the opportunity to be recognized, especially in front of the board. And if I knew I could have done a waiver, I might have tried that. Appreciate it, Mark.
You know, Mark passed his test on the first try. Did you know that?
Well, that's a lie. I've got the records. Do y'all want a photo op in front of the seal?
Yeah, please do.
Christina, would you join?
So this is his second presentation. The commissioner was out of the office the day that we were presented the certificate at the GLO, which is not having insider information, but Stephen does work at the GLO, General Land Office, with me. And again, we forced him to stay in his office and study. So
I don't know that working for the GLO was a boost more than a punishment.
he had very good mentors.
I can crop this too.
Thank you. Congratulations. It's great.
Appreciate it.
David. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. There's 3 LSLSs on our staff. Stephen makes number 4, but the other 2 surveyors on our staff have really been monumental in mentoring. And I think that's something that, especially in the surveying community, Colleen can chime in on that, is mentoring is a huge asset to our profession. The more we mentor our junior surveyors, the better off they'll be and prepared in the future.
It is a learned profession.
Yes.
Very important.
Hands-on experience.
Congratulations.
Don't you have a LSLS in Coons or Silsby, a lady?
Yes,
Nedra Foster Townsend.
Yeah, was she the first lady that got a LSLS?
She's the only lady that's ever had LSLS.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
She just retired.
I have several ladies that are studying for it, but they have not sat for the exam yet.
Okay.
Very good, talented ladies that are studying for it.
Fantastic.
I'm forcing them to get over that hump.
So what is more important for you to tell me, being a PE or a LSLS?
All important.
Good job. Good job. All right. Well, thank you very much and congratulations again to you, sir.
Licensing has one more.
Okay, go ahead.
And one more thing we discussed in licensing committee, and Dr. Kenny's gonna give you guys a brief on the Murdoch Center, kind of what's been going on and why we've had some lucky things with that.
Thank you very much, and I'll try and keep it short. So the Murdoch Center, as you know, is where we sometimes if there's an enforcement case related to ethics, we'll send a person there to take a class to brush up on their ethical requirements, or in the licensing capacity, if we think a person could benefit from additional ethical reminders and education, we would send them to the Murdoch Center. It's a small department related to Texas Tech, and it gives these remote classes that we've talked about many, many times over the years. Earlier this year, one of the main people, actually the main gentleman who was involved in the development of the courses and the grading of the courses, passed away suddenly, unexpectedly. So that was a terrible thing, and I'm sorry for Dr. Marcy having passed away as well. But that's pretty much stopped the program in its tracks at that time. There were some other things they could do too, so they worked very diligently to try and get someone to reconstitute the program immediately. They found some folks who could help grade folks that were in it, but essentially the program stopped while Texas Tech looked at how they were going to handle it, what they were going to do. Even though we sent a lot of people, other states use them as well. We're one of the biggest volumes, but the overall volume is not enormous. It's not like a whole civil engineering program or something like that. So Texas Tech, we got with them. They were very receptive to that. We kind of took the point on behalf of NCAAS and other boards and got with the dean and expressed the value or the importance of keeping Murdo alive in some capacity. They agreed, and so what they've done over the summer essentially was offline. There was no Murdo Center running. They've worked hard. We contacted them at the beginning of end of July, early August, and they are back online now. They have moved it from a standalone item to it's still the Murdo Center, but it's now partnered with their adult or professional continuing ed program. And as such, they have a number of 2 graders at least and a director for this one program. So it's a little more robust than it was previously. One thing though is to align it with general Texas Tech course prices and other things like that. The price that we had before it has gone up. That's one of the exhibits I've got here. It's not ultimately, prohibitive, but it is more. I just wanted to mention that for everybody. We've been, like I said, in close communication with Texas Tech. It looked like they're trying to build a robust program that will continue to last on. September 1 is when they're planned to begin and continue the classes. So the folks that we've asked to take it, for example, today or yesterday, will be able to enroll and then begin in September. The folks that we had asked for either for enforcement or licensing, we understand that they were on hold. They were actually could not do these classes. So we're doing what we can to extend if they had a deadline, you must do it by X, then we X+6 or whatever the deal is to work that out. We are also looking internally, discussing with NCAAS and discussing with other folks, things like the gentleman we spoke about earlier is alternative or parallel options. Are there other programs out there? And this is not to diminish in any way the importance of Murdo Center's courses or the program there. It's good to know if there's other things that one might do and include other things in our toolbox. Maybe there's courses that are a shorter one in case we want to ask someone to not have to take the whole 30-hour, they could take something else. We're just going to look and see. So UND's ethics course that we talked about earlier could be a possibility. We're going to look around and have that as a possible menu. So you may see something coming forward, but the punchline is Murdo's back and should be getting their stuff into the month. So we're happy for that. We're excited. It's a terrible thing to hear Dr. Marcy passing, but the Murdo Center is back up and going. So we're excited. It's a big thing.
Thank you. Number 11. Policy Advisory Committee meeting report.
Sure, the Policy Advisory Committee met this morning, considered a draft response that was created by Mr. Sims in response to a request regarding subsurface utility engineering. Many stakeholders were contacted and gave input accordingly and have made recommendation that the board consider a response.
Fantastic. To make your motion.
I just made the motion.
You just made the motion.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? The ayes have it. Thank you, ma'am. Good job. It was one of the shorter meetings. You don't have the record yet, but
I'm going for it.
you worked.
You're in the 8-minute range now.
Yes. I think Bobby had the shortest record in one of the
Yes,
committees.
sure I did. It was 5 minutes, and I think I had the longest licensing committee meeting one time.
That
You
wasn't
did.
fun.
Okay,
Both extreme.
Yeah.
leave it to Bobby.
Yeah.
I think-
We had 22 appearances.
Item number 12, nominating committee. We did visit on the nomination, and I have read to you the folks that are on the nominated. Ms. Karen Fries is going to be the vice chair, and Margot is going to be the board secretary. Congratulations to both of you. That is a motion, and I'd like to have a second and approval of this.
Second.
We have a second, and any discussion on the nominees? All in favor, say aye. Okay, any nays? Fantastic, the ayes have it, and congratulations, and thank you for accepting the nomination. I know you're both gonna do a fantastic job. The committee assignments are gonna be coming shortly. We're still working on that. We're trying to rotate folks, but it will be coming to you fairly soon. The recommendation of the renewal of the contracts for advisory board meetings for Mr. Lamberto Bailly, William Edwards, John Hody, and Govind Nadkarni. I would make a motion that we would renew their contracts for the advisory board meetings.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? Nobody. Thank you very much. The motion passes. Thank you guys for accepting the nomination. I know this takes you quite a bit from your families, but you do have fun being around us, so that's.
And vice versa, I would hope.
And thank you for your confidence in us, for us to do what we're doing.
Absolutely, especially you and Bobby have been here for years. You have a lot of experience, and what your experience and what you advise us at times is very valuable. Thank you very much. Executive matters, we go to Executive Director, my good friend, Dr. Kenny.
Letter A, 13A is my quarterly set of meetings. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer any of those items, but usually kind of move on through that. The next one's agency operations report. This is just kind of an update of the summary of things that are happening. Most of it is pretty standard. I did want to mention, and the directors will give their director's report in a little bit. We're looking at hiring in both in just filling spots we've got, as well as with an eye towards succession planning. We're trying to work in that a little bit. We'll have some more as we get into more of a strategic planning mode after this. You've noticed outside, we've changed some of our landscaping around the building itself. And prior to that, after that, we were going to work on resurfacing the parking lot. So you'll maybe see that in the future. However, you may have also noticed a little something out in the road that they're reconfiguring all of 35. So that is ongoing and interesting because it changes sometimes daily, sometimes weekly. And so the next time you come back, we'll see. But those are some of the things regarding the building. That is, a number of years ago, some of you may remember, TxDOT, as part of this project, purchased the front part of our lot. So we'll see what it ends up looking like. Stops at about the trees there. One thing I talked to Dr. Najad, and it's been brought up before, is having a type of board retreat on looking at some strategic planning things. We look like this may actually be logical to have in or around or attached to the February meeting in 2027. So I'll let y'all, I'll send around polls, we'll talk about that. The February meeting is often somewhat shorter, and it may be a time to just piggyback them, strategic planning one day, board meetings all held in. And we'll look at locations, whether it's smart to have it here or possibly say Houston or somewhere else. We'll work that out and share with everybody about that. Another item, and these are not numbered, but there's something I just want to let you know, because you'll probably see some rules come out of this, rule proposals. It's something called TREO, TREO, which is the Texas Regulatory Efficiency Office. This was something that came out of efficiency efforts out of the legislative session last time around. You might call it Texas Doge type activities. The idea was to look at rules and processes and procedures. And TREO itself is housed in and attached to the governor's office. So it's different than a Sunset or an SAO, auditor's office kind of thing. It's a process that they've developed to go through and assist boards in looking at their rules and processes from another outside view. The good news for us is that our board, we look at our rules quite a bit. We just passed a package. We passed another one before that. We modify and update our rules on a regular basis, understanding that some agencies, maybe not so much. So we're in like the third pass and of trail. They've done some agencies and now we're in that loop. What they're looking for is either optimization of the rules by removing unnecessary processes, other things like that, or in some cases, it's just wording. Can they simplify the wording? And with, in some cases, word count as a metric. Nonetheless, they've given us a basic pass through of things, places they thought maybe we'd have some opportunities for changes. It's a good group to work with in the sense that they gave us, what about this, what about that? I talked with our folks and in some cases we said not that and they said cool and took it off. So it is collaborative. We are now in a situation where it's back to them, where they gave us a list of topic areas. I believe that's the exhibit attached to this. So they're gonna come back at some point with the, how about this kind of language? And then we will come back and see if that seems logical, reasonable. One area that was interesting is, for example, when we merged boards, we duplicated in some cases for, I'll use continuing ed. The continuing ed section, engineers have it, surveyors have it. Instead of trying to complicate it all, put engineer surveyor all into one rule, we, in some cases, duplicated the rule, engineer version, surveyor. That was on purpose. They came back and said, why not smash them together? We said, well, but nonetheless, I want to see what they've got and if there is there something that would be helpful. The final part of that is, so we'll see what they come back with, and I don't know if it'll be November, if it would be February. There may be some rules, if we all agree, that would be logical to make changes. They've also said it's not mandatory, it's totally up to boards to make changes, they just want to have a shot at. So that's later on, if I start saying Treo and you see some rules come out of that, that's what this is. So that's something that's going on. They've worked with a bunch of other agencies as well.
How is engineers not in the top 10 most in demand licensed occupation?
Pardon me, what?
Most in demand licensed occupations in Texas. They have the top 10 and engineering is not listed.
I don't know what metric they use.
How can that not be PFE?
It's a total number of active, which is wild because we are over, we're under accountants at 95,000 and over the rest.
There's something wrong here.
Yep, don't know. That's from the Treo site. Sorry, we're not just having a private conversation. He's looking on Treo listed this. One thing I can say, they are heavy into AI stuff. So that can be an AI driven response. May or may not be 100% accurate.
Right.
Anyway, that's that. Any questions about my report there or Treo? Item C then is the upcoming next week NCAA's annual meeting. Thanks for those that attended the workshop. Thank you for those that are going to be able to travel. I understand a number of you can't. We are doing something a little different this time too. We've also invited some of our investigators to go to the law enforcement section. That's going to be a nice opportunity for the investigators. I mean, often it's the same faces. It's Michael, it's Rick, it's me, and nothing like that. We're having an opportunity for some of them to attend the weekend piece of this. We've already kind of discussed, and we'll be sharing obviously all the materials there, and we'll go through the issues as it stands out there. So this one looks like it's interesting. Generally, one or two things will pop up, and of course, there'll always be the surprise item that nobody predicted would be the fist fight of the day. So.
Go ahead, comment. I just wanted to apologize for not being able to go to Nevada. My wife is out of country, kids are headed back to college, I'm dog sitting, so won't be able to attend. My apologies.
So your dog doesn't like hot weather?
He's always in the pool, that's the problem.
Thank you, sir.
We are going to bring a large cardboard cutout of Bobby.
Just had a discussion about the priority with the gentleman who was sitting in that chair, so you can understand the priority issue.
Priorities, and I did go to A&M too, but.
Thank you.
The last two items is, let me scroll down to it, our outreach report and kudos. So the outreach report is just for your information. Once again, our outreach program is going like crazy, like it always does. Thanks to everybody who travels around. As we're heading into the fall season, I don't know what the rest of the guys, our agendas are starting to fill back up with visits, but only the fall. Both schools are back in and associations are firing up after the summer break. And then the last one is kudos. We try and take opportunities. These are things that are shared with me from my team, but I want to thank the folks out there doing the hard work every day. when we actually get a person to come back with positive experiences, not that they don't have them, but as you know, many people don't put pen to paper and let you know. So this is an opportunity to recognize the folks out there doing a good job, or someone sends in thanks and kudos. Thanks to all the team.
A lot of Montemayor meetings, what's the status of Mr. Mon-?
I believe we have an item later on the agenda. I'll give an update there, but yes, there's ongoing activity there.
All
That's the
right,
end of my report.
and the director's report, licensing and registration.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to talk. You have my report, one page in your packet, to cover just some of the highlights of that. We are currently recruiting one replacement program specialist. We're trying to find the right fit for our group, not just expertise wise, but cultural wise to fall in there and do the hard work and wear the many hats and do what our program specialists do. And we're also recruiting two PEs. We had multiple interviews on the first round of postings last week. Did not find a candidate that fit like we wanted. And so we will continue the hunt for those people to come in and help us. Training is progressing very well, honing the new members that are there, getting their expertise level where they can wear all the hats and do all some of the training we do takes upwards of 2 years before someone knows everything in the group and can wear all the hats and do all the details of the applications. As always, heartfelt thank you to the whole licensing team, everything they do, all the hard work, the application, not just the applications that everybody sees, but all the behind the scenes and the verifications and the phone calls and the emails and all the exam prep that we talked about in the licensing committee. Tremendous amount of work for my team, and they do it very, very well. Point of interest, we have 32 now approved mutual recognition agreements with the UK that are licensed, and that's UK licensed here. I don't have a number for the number of Texans that have gone there. Last count I got, I think, was 7, but there's more, I'm sure, that have gone the other direction. As far as the survey exams, we did have one gentleman pass the last LSLS exam, which I'll help to celebrate, Stephen. And we have given 9 successful exams for TSSE, and the results are there. Our overall pass rate for the 9 TSSE exams is 47.9, 48%, which falls in line with the national average for the national exams for both that ES exam, FS exam, FE exam, and EE exam that NESIS does for us. That's a lot of acronyms. So we feel very proud of our exam, and we think we're hitting right there where we need to be for making sure that we are giving good, defendable, credible exams and putting good people in their RPLS positions. The next TSSE exam is October 23rd, and the next LSLS exam is that same day at the Norris Conference Center. And we are working with the Norris Conference Center to confirm the 2027 exam dates. We have 3 planned for 2027. And then I've included in the list of what the PS rate pass, the professional survey pass is 48% for the state of Texas for the first half of the fiscal year, and 48% for PS, 38% for FS. So our TSSE falls right in line with the national exam, which someone has to have to vote to be registered in the state of Texas. And I brought it up before, but I'll mention it one more time. The technical department at NESIS and our IT group are working in conjunction to get I call it the Elvis program. It's the ELVS, and it'll be the verification program. We do some 8,000 verifications in Texas a year, and this will be more of an automated system where our computer system and Denise's computer system can take the human being out and it all be confidential and verify these licenses and stuff that they need to. It'll be a big time savings for my group if we can get it in there. But Mason Schoolfield has been working with Stephen at Nisus, and they are making sure that that the confidentiality of the data remains as it should, and there's a lot of information in there and credentials in there that we want to protect. Any questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Where is Mason anyway?
I'll give us a report in a second.
He's taking his son to college.
Fantastic.
Yes.
He doesn't look like anybody.
I know.
His son. Wow.
Yeah, I believe they're up at Purdue. Yeah.
Wow. I'm proud of him.
Studying engineering? I believe he is studying engineering. Is that correct?
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Good.
They're on the right.
Compliance. Mr. Sims.
Well, good afternoon now. So my report's also in the materials, just a couple of highlights. Continue to focus the group on keeping our cases moving, focus on getting the older cases wrapped up. We did have some interviews and have promoted Virginia Estrie, one of our investigators, now the investigative team lead. So have someone in that position now and continuing to work with HR, human resources to look to get interviews scheduled for an investigator posting to try to at least bring one person, maybe two additional investigators online. But overall, everyone's focusing hard, keeping things moving, cases, and all the other related things that we do in C&E. Case numbers are there, just 100, the past quarter or so, 144 open, 107 closed, or about 279 pending. On track to probably be a little bit lower as far as total incoming cases this year, which is not something we really control. We just process what we receive, but I have seen a little bit of a drop in incoming cases. As far as continuing education audits, we're starting to crack down a little bit on those because we have started to see a lot of issues. We did have eight referrals from the last PE audit. Some of those are currently being investigated, but cases opened, either people not responding, certifying they've done it without doing it, just not being where is expected as far as doing and completing and demonstrating that they're complying with the continuing education requirements. June audit's ongoing. We are cross-training where we have someone else that can do the audits now, so doing some cross-training there. Two people able to do the audits and also are getting more questions on there just with the changes in renewals. We are getting more questions than normal just because the numbers have changed. What do I apply? That's kind of in flux. Hopefully I guess next year we'll start to hit steady state on there and hopefully kind of the questions and everyone will be aware of kind of where we end up with the 2-year renewals that trickles down and affects continuing education and requirements. Continuing to look at processes within the department for efficiency issues, continuing work. Knew it would be challenging, but has confirmed to be challenging looking at the surveying technical rules to see if there's anything that we can do to improve those, make them clearer, more enforceable, ongoing work with the surveying advisory committee. I think we have some things we can do, tweak that'll make some improvements. We did have 2 informal conferences last month, have 4 scheduled for September. So working on those 2 and then working to also get a couple of Minnesota hearing, I believe for 4 cases this summer, and then working to get a couple more scheduled, docketed with them in the next month or so to keep those moving too for the summer requests that we have. Everything I had prepared can answer questions if anybody has any as far as what we're working on in compliance and enforcement.
Any questions for the gentleman? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mason's report.
Fantastic.
So imagine being report for your
Go ahead, Mason.
actual hearing. And knowing what I'm talking about, those will be 3 things. Which changes. Basically, the reports in here, Mason did kind of say this is just an overview. I can't really answer too many of the deep down technical questions that I know you're probably going to ask me, so I can't get into that. But we've already talked about the 2-year renewal system. That's heavy on IT changeover. Now it's in a steady state. So we're just exercising and running through these handling issues there as we go through that. Information security assessment. This is when we have third parties look at the IT system. We've got a lot of good feedback. One of the big gaps, if you will, is about not that the systems themselves are operative or do what they're supposed to do. It's about the documentation and it's to be able to prove it kind of thing. That's how it's work. So we're looking at a new hire in operations, and we've gone back and forth on what kind of person that would be. We're gonna do a lot of security documentation is one of the focuses there. That person can help, do that piece while the other folks are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Some other internal things, shredding, things like that. Cybersecurity awareness training, we're nearing 100% coverage on that. The NCAA's licensing verification system, which Mr. Strong mentioned, we're deploying at the end of the month. He's got it 99 point something percent finished, but Mason's incredibly thorough and for the rest of the crew to make sure that it does everything it's supposed to. We are the big scale pilot program at NCAAS. Once this is turned on, we'll get a lot of volume. It demonstrates that it works. And then they've already started asking other states for the phase 2 piece. So once we got this, now they can just say, go do that, and we'll be able to use our model. So that's a good, strong thing there. And the last thing is working on AI policy requirements through the statute and other stuff, is putting that documentation in place, an AI code of ethics for internal stuff, that sort of thing. So Mason's doing all kinds of different things. And I want to thank the whole crew because in the process of doing things, moving us forward, they're also maintaining all our database systems, doing all the stuff we're supposed to be doing and fixing when goofballs like me can't make the printer work. So they do an amazing job.
Thank you, sir. We're gonna go to the 17.
This one I'll also do or 15. Surveying advisory.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. 15.
This one is as you know, the Surveying Advisory Committee. They meet generally quarterly. We've had actually 2 back-to-back face-to-face meetings because there's a big thing on the SAC's plate, which is working on reviewing all of the technical. Unlike on the engineering side, where there aren't specifications on how to do what you do on the engineering rules, the surveying rules do. They've got some guidance and specifics in there. Those were from the previous rules before the merger. We left them alone when we merged over because we were trying to get operations going. And so now we get feedback regularly on why not this and why not that, a complaint thing. So we said, let's look at them. The SAC now has gone through it several times. Cuss and discuss the advantages and disadvantages for changes. They're finding an interesting thing that happens in all legislation, rulemaking, or any kind of regulation is you can make them turn a knob, and for 80% of the things it works, and then for 20 it breaks something. So we're trying to see if there's any changes that are advantageous, helpful, necessary to plug any gaps that are out there at the same time, not being hyper restrictive, constrictive, or breaking something. It's been an interesting exercise because everybody goes, I'm pretty sure this, and then one person will go, what about this? And then it all falls off the table. Interesting conversations, very good. The group is very helpful, very smart in everything they're doing. So right now we have no recommendations on that, but there's lots of stuff going into it. One of the other big tasks once a year is the SAC puts out applications for new members. A person serves for 3 years, 3 on, 1 year, and then 3 roll off. We received 36 applications this last year. After reviewing all of them and looking for both a good fit as well as making sure we represent everything from large firms, small firms, different parts of the state, all kinds of different stuff. The SAC, I believe it's the last page of this section of the packet, wanted to recommend 3 names and the board has to make a motion to approve them so they'll be members of the SAC. Did you want me to just go read them in?
Sure.
Go for it. The 3 folks selected, we picked a primary group and then there's an alternate in case somebody doesn't want to go with that, but Michael Newton, RPLS LS, Teresa Seidel, RPLS, and Jared Schnell, RPLS, were recommended by the SAC committee to be the next 3 folks on there. Lots of excellent folks. So once again, if anybody's watching, it's not because if you didn't get selected, it's not because you were bad. It's because kind of what was going on. And there were tons of folks. So we've got a next tier and a next tier and a next tier. Please keep applying as we roll in and off. I said a lot of things, so that would be something we need a motion for. And then, of course, I'll answer any questions. And Mr. Neugebauer and Thompson, if you have any questions or comments you want to make about it.
No comments. It's a good progress and like you said, good procedures, and it's important for those who wanna serve on that committee, just keep applying because, you know, we look at all things, who's fallen off, what gaps we have, diversity in different areas, so just keep trying. Interested, haven't gotten on, so. I'm gonna make a motion.
Yeah, if you want
I'd
to.
like to make a motion to approve the primary recommendations for Michael Newton, RPLS, LSLS, Teresa Seidel, RPLS, and Larry Schnell, RPLS, to serve on the Surveying Advisory Committee.
Thank you for the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? The ayes have it. Thank you. Dr. King,
I believe 16 was consent, so now we're on to 17, which would be my.
that's right.
So item 17 is the consent order for consideration at today's meeting. Copy of the order was in the materials and answer any questions if anybody has any. If not, ask.
Can you briefly tell me what the case was on number one?
It was related to a continuing education audit and not being responsive to us after multiple attempts to provide the documentation. It was for not being responsive to board inquiries.
Well, good. Tell me the exciting one.
That's.
We need a motion.
Oh, yeah. I entertain a motion to
So moved.
accept the order number one, and you have moved. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any in opposition? The ayes have it.
Ready to go?
Sure.
Number 18, I'm gonna keep this short for lots of reasons. There's ongoing litigation still with Mr. Montemayor and his team. This was put on here in case there was action to be taken and at the current moment there's not. Also, Stephen Ogle has been the point for this and he would have more legal piece. I'm not inclined to speak more about the legal stuff at this time, so it's ongoing.
Since I've been on this one.
Yeah.
Well, now, it goes back a long time. There's no action to be taken.
No action to be
right?
taken at this time.
All right. Well, folks, is there any item that you would like to bring for the next meeting? Don't be shy.
We will do things.
You don't like the coffee, you want the room to be renovated, whatever you need.
We will do.
Bring Round Rock.
We'll do things.
We will do Thanksgiving, that's correct.
This meter in the.
That's correct. We already approved the consent.
Like the very first one.
Thank you. All right, well, again, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
you said anything, if you want the room to be.
within reason.
And just said it.
Oh, yeah, I withdraw my vote.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I was just talking about these tables
Uh-huh.
and the plan to modernize this table. They're okay.
I can answer that question.
Well-
Yes, we have looked into it. We had a meeting downtown at one of the newer state buildings. And there were a lot of options that a lot of us liked. Both it was in new chairs, because some of the, anyway, new chairs and tables that could be folded, stacked, removed, and that sort of thing. So yes, it's on. our
That's
list
not
of things.
upgrading to go to folding chairs.
It's a folding chairs that can fold. Those are different. And then we're just gonna get hard tables for them.
Tables. Well, look, I did meet with Dr. Kenny, as it was mentioned to you before. I wanted to thank him tremendously for the effort he puts in. And he is a great executive director, very popular with the staff. And I want to thank him and the staff because really this has been the easiest board to be on. Because of the fact that the staff takes care of all the issues before we get to the meeting. And I want to thank all of them, and please convey my sincere appreciation to all of them. We will have Thanksgiving dinner for the staff upcoming November. So Miss Karen Freeze, did you volunteer again? Thank you. Kathy, we are gonna, well, you're retired now, so what?
We'll discuss.
If there's nothing else to come in front of us, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. The meeting's adjourned. I want to thank the officer to be here.